Now we need to begin defining the top of the vehicle. We're going to lay out some splines to create the windshield and the back of the vehicle here, and also the hood that's currently off of this vehicle. We'll go ahead and put that on. And so let's look at the obvious places where we can lay in our splines. We'll need a spline across here for our windshield, and we will need a spline through here for the front of the vehicle, the hood of the vehicle. And we have some interesting topology here, so we'll need probably a spline through here in order to define that a little bit more clearly. And back here, there's the back of the vehicle. We're only going to build half of the splines up to the mid section of the vehicle, and then we can mirror those over. So let's get started here. First place I'm going to define is the front of the vehicle. Now we have some curves coming in through here from the side, but we're just going to go ahead and create the front of the vehicle and match those up when the time comes. So grab our UP tool and let's plot the front of the vehicle to the center line. Enter. Okay, and again, though there are splines through here, I'm just going to go ahead and create that from the very corner point over here. Alright, let's see exactly where. Create it from the point where the windshield is the car. Point, enter. Okay. And I think I'm going to put one right across the top here. There's a spline here already, so I'm going to hold my shift key down and begin with snapping that to that point, and then continuing over here to the middle. Enter. And again on the back corner. This time I think what I'll do is snap to the spline down here, that, and then snap to the spline up here on the top corner, and then go ahead and bring that over to the middle. Enter. Alright, there's a feature here that comes up as well, so we'll go ahead and drop that in. With the C key down, I'm just going to snap that here, I believe, for the time being. And I'll come all the way up here, and I'll move that over, and then go ahead and snap this feature into the middle. Enter. Alright, in the back of the vehicle, go ahead and start clear over here. Center, turn. Alright, and since I'm here already, I'll go ahead and define this area here. The trunk of the vehicle is. here if I choose to use it. And what I'm thinking is maybe bring it up here. Okay, enter. Alright, now we will go ahead and take the time to straighten these out and make these as even curves as possible. And we will check them as we go in the side and the top views. We will snap them together and attach them where necessary, as we did in a previous lesson. Let's see. Alright. Out. And when all of that mundane work is done, then I will come back and show you the progress, and we'll talk about how to begin lofting our surfaces. Alright, so as you can see, I've gone in and I've laid in a few more splines that identify the topology of my vehicle. Right along here I have laid in one that defines the high point of the bumper, low point next to the body of the vehicle. Also here I've gone in and defined the high point of the side of the vehicle. Now typically you would not break a spline at the midsection of the vehicle, because that breaks the lighting pattern that happens, and that's what we're trying to avoid. That's why we use NURBS in the first place, is to get a nice fluid motion over the surface of the vehicle. But because the Dodge Viper has a very a strong feature here in the side of the vehicle, it almost makes it look like two cars coming together, we are going to go ahead and define this surface topology by creating a break right here in the side of the vehicle here. So we'll begin doing that by planting a spline, same as we've done with the others. I'm going to select my tool with the C key down. I'm going to snap to the top spline here and the next spline, and then I'm going to snap to the next spline down. And I'm going to go ahead and drop in a number of EPs here. I'm going to snap to this point, and again to this point, and continue on down, and snap again to this point, and enter. So I've got kind of a wiggly line here, but I can right click, control verts, and go ahead in there and manipulate that, get that exactly where I want it. If I have too many EPs at a point, I can go ahead and delete some. And I'm going to try really hard to get this dramatic feature on this vehicle as accurate as possible. So that's one of the highlight features of the Dodge Viper. Okay, and then once I have that laid in, I'm going to go to my side view, my top view, my front view, and check it finally in perspective to make sure that it's in the correct position. So let's go ahead and just do that, and then I will come back to shorten the duration of this tutorial. Now, as we approach the next phase of the NURBS build, what we're going to be doing is adjusting these curves and placing them, cutting them up and putting them in configuration where we can best get a good patch. Now, NURB surfaces are simply square patches, and that's all they can ever be. So we need to configure our splines in square patches. So wherever we see a cross section of splines, such right here, this one tees off on this particular spline, what we'll have to do is go ahead and cut that up so that we can get an accurate build. So we can begin by cutting this one here, hold the shift key down, cutting it here. So what I'm going to be doing, okay, and detach curves. So what I'm going to be doing is building square splines, or four-sided splines, flat, so that when we have everything together, we can go ahead and loft these surfaces and get our patches. Now we'll be able to shape them. They're not entirely flat, but we need to think of them as 2D objects to start with. So as we work through here, we're going to make sure that we have 4 sides to work with to create our patches. This one, we need to right click, curve point, click on this spline, align that curve point. We're going to do it again here, shift key down, curve point. We're going to do it over here as well, shift key down, shift key down, down. And so when we detach these curves, we're going to have nice, neat little packages of splines in order to create our patches. Alright, so I'm going to continue with this, get everything cut up and positioned, and I'll be back to continue our tutorial.